You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1515, brought to you by MyNewHorse.
For first-time horse owners and new riders, finding the information and support you need can be challenging. That's why Equine Network has partnered with Sentinel and Absorbine to bring you MyNewHorse. From important horsekeeping information and how-to videos to social media communities, exclusive experiences, and more, MyNewHorse is your one-stop shop for riders of all levels and disciplines looking for easy-to-understand horse care information and guidance. Start your horse ownership journey today. Visit MyNewHorse.com.
Here we go. Today, endurance rider Karen Chaton and I take on the why and how of vital signs. You know, pulse, respiration, temperature, the things that can help you gauge your horse's state of health. And this conversation was prompted by the fact that Karen has several new horses, so she has to start a whole new batch of data.
I really need to get more familiar with these new horses. So I got out my index cards, which I've always kept in the barn, and I write down periodically all the stuff that I need to know so I know what their vitals are at rest, which is really important. So the things that are important to check is you want to be able to check your horse's heart rate, which typically should be at rest between 28 and 44 beats per minute, but you want to get familiar with that so you know what is normal, so that when something isn't normal, you know, and then you can, take steps to remedy that. You want to check respiration, which is usually 10 to 24 breaths per minute, but get familiar with how your horse is breathing. Check the temperature, which should be between 99 and 101.5. But get familiar, like I said, because some horses, they might be at either end of that. And then if they get just a little bit elevated, then you know to keep an eye on them. Gut sounds are a good thing to learn how to check using a stethoscope and to check all four quadrants. And if you're not sure how to do this and don't have anybody that you can ask, you can go to the AERC YouTube channel and look up AERC. The Education Committee has put out several videos, and they have videos showing how to do a lot of that stuff and how it's done during a vet check on an endurance ride, because the ride vets will check all four quadrants on your horse during the ride. You want to be able to check your horse's skin tinting, and you want the skin, when you check the skin on the point of the shoulder, you grab it and you pinch it and you pull it out, and you want it to snap back and have some elasticity to it, so it snaps back within 1 to 3 seconds. But again, get familiar with that so that if it's going back real slow, that could indicate your horse is dehydrated. And the same for checking gums. You lift up your horse's lip and you press your thumb against your horse's gums, and you want to see the skin color come right back to pink fairly fast. So basically, those are most of the important things, but you just want to go over your whole horse, get them familiar with you checking and touching and handling them all over, so that if they need a vet to do it, or you go to an endurance ride and the vet does a vet check to vet you in during the ride, your horse needs to know how to be handled and accept having their, gums and skin tinting and the stethoscope placed on him. The next step that I'm going to be doing with my new horses is I'm going to be working on teaching them how to trot out and back, because that's also an important thing that'll help tell you if there's, you can do a CRI, which we've talked about on the show, where you check your heart rate initially and then you trot out and back and check it again. And that will tell you if the horse is stressed, if the heart rate goes back up, or if it comes right back down to where it was or lower. So those are all, really good things to learn to check. Also, kind of pay attention to how your horse is, how the manure looks. That's how I finally figured out that those kids were tossing apples into my horses is when I picked up manure that morning, it was more like a cow pie. And so I knew, well, oh shoot, which horse did this? So then I was following the horses around trying to wait for the next one to poop to see if I could figure out which one, had something going on. And not only did he have the runny poops, but his temperature was about 1.5 degrees higher than normal.
So did you have a word with the naughty children?
I did. And in fact, that's when I actually invited them to come over. And because, they're just kids.
Yeah,
and,
they don't know
they don't. And they had a lot of fruit on their side of the fence, and they just wanted to see the horses. So I just had them all over, and there were 3 of them, and I gave them all a brush and got the horses out, and I got some free grooming out of it, and they got an education.
Well, that's a good way to handle it rather than just yelling at them.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that was the better way to handle it. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Horse Radio Network has thousands of engaging podcasts for horse people, and you can have them sent right to your phone. Just subscribe via your favorite podcast player. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.